So right now, so tell me again. So let's just finish up with the better New Deal. So
Oh
you,
yeah. So the good things about it.
yeah,
This part is important, and again, it's weakly done. Like all of these things, it's totally namby-pamby. Antitrust, though, antitrust is this is enormous. So when you talk about things, when you and I talk about things that the Democratic Party is doing wrong and things that they could do, that they need to do differently in order to win these voters back that they've lost, well, you go down, there's a whole list of things where the Democratic Party basically accepted the Reagan Revolution and accepted what the Republicans were doing. And one of the biggest ones was antitrust. And when Obama was president just last year and the year before that, I used to write about this all the time. Because, back then the line among people on the left was, oh, you can't criticize Obama. There's nothing he can do. The Republicans have Congress. He can't do any of the nice liberal stuff that you want him to do because he's powerless. And I would say I actually came up with a bunch of things. I didn't know you back then, but I came up with a bunch of things that I would write about that he could do, even though he didn't control Congress. And one of them was antitrust. It is entirely up to the president how antitrust is enforced. All he has to do is call his attorney general into the Oval Office and say, Mr. Eric Holder, here's what we're going to do on antitrust. I've decided we're going to enforce the law like they used to do in, say, the 1960s. And then Holder goes out and starts breaking up companies, starts swinging the sledgehammer. Eric Holder goes after Silicon Valley. Eric Holder goes after the big banks. All of this crap. The laws are on the books. It's just that we don't enforce them. Okay. And this is the fact that the Democratic Party has decided that they were wrong about antitrust going all the way back to the 1980s. This is an enormous U-turn. Enormous. And of course, we can easily say, well, you just had the presidency. You didn't do a goddamn thing about it, But the fact that they have changed on this is, this makes me smile. This actually, I'm not a hopeful person, but damn, this is kind of a good thing. I sort of can't believe it happened,
I don't believe it happened. I think that's just
but
words
it's
on a
right there
paper.
in black and white, Jimmy Dore.
I know it's just words on a paper. It's just words on a paper. Because
Yeah, I know. Until they recapture the executive branch, there's nothing they can do about it.
right, they're gonna, they're like
And
this.
even then, they the most obvious monopolies in America are things like Google and Amazon.
Facebook.
Jimmy, yeah. Do you think the Democratic Party is going to go after Amazon? What do you think, Jimmy?
Well,
I
I think
who own who owns the Washington
what I look
Post.
forward to is some really explosive articles in the Washington Post exposing the predatory capitalistic nature of Jeff Bezos and Amazon. That's what I'm looking forward to. Once people know that Amazon's whole business model is crushing local economies, taking out their tax base of real estate, and then also getting tax breaks to do it, they will be.
And hey, Jimmy, I'm an author. You know what these people are doing to the publishing industry?
Yes, Amazon.
Which is the publishing industry has consolidated a lot, but there's still 5, publishing houses. By the way, have I ever told you this story? It's not my story, but it's in a book by Andre Schifrin, who's kind of a legend in publishing, about the 1960s when he was young and was just starting out. And he went to, I forget which publishing house he was working at, but there were something like 15 of them back then. Okay, big American publishing houses. And he went to work one day, and they had merged the day before. They had merged with the house that he worked for had merged with another one. So now there were 14. They got a call from the Justice Department. The Justice Department is like, I don't know. We think that's too much concentration in the publishing industry. And this is back in the 1960s. Today, we're down to 5. And then you've got this one huge one on the horizon that is scheming to put everybody out of business. But basically, look, monopoly is the business model of Silicon Valley. This is what it's all about. When do you think the Democrats are going to start crossing swords with Silicon Valley?
Never. So
there you go.
Okay. So anything. So you think it's good in the better deal that they promise to enforce antitrust legislation?
Yes. There's another aspect to this that's really important. This is totally forgotten. I may have talked to you about it. You may have heard me blab about it because I'm from Kansas.
Yeah.
Farm country. And when I wrote What's the Matter with Kansas, one of the things I discovered is that family farmers are being ruined in this country. You may know this, you may not, but they are. They're being destroyed, and it's been going on for a long time. And the force that is destroying them are these incredibly powerful middlemen. Like when you say you're a hog farmer or something, and you go to sell your hogs at the end of the season, at the end of the year, and there's only one company that you can sell them to. They have a monopoly. There might be 2 or 3 in America, but where you live, there's only going to be one. There's no competition at all. And they can basically pay you whatever they feel like paying you. And this is repeated in commodity after commodity, whether you're talking about wheat, whether you're talking about corn, whether you're talking about chickens, whatever you're talking about. Every farmer in America is being ruined by monopolies, and they all know this. Now, people here in Washington do not know this. This is not something that ever makes its way through. But this is a really good way to try to win the votes of farmers and rural people, small town America, back over to the Democratic Party. This is a really good way. In fact, this is how Obama beat – no one remembers this.
Yes, I know.
This is how he beat Hillary in Iowa in 2008, which was such a shocker at the time, is he was going around to small towns talking about how he was going to sick the Justice Department on agricultural monopolies. And then Jimmy, I don't know if you know the rest of the story, he didn't do it.
Yeah, I know that story.
Yeah, he just dropped it as soon as he became president. And so the Democrats are promising to bring it back up. And it would be extraordinary if they actually were to deliver on this. It would be mind-boggling.
This would help income inequality.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God. Yes. Well, monopolies are a disaster for working people. I mean, you look at what's happening to family farmers, and, you don't have to be like a Jeffersonian, have this kind of romantic view of family farmers to understand that they are, this is a really important part of America. They prop up rural, small town economy, diversity of crops, all these things that are good. And it's all being destroyed. The Great Plains, the entire Midwest is being depopulated. But basically, when you say that monopolies are okay, which Reagan said and then Clinton signed off on, and basically we've never looked back, when you decide that monopolies are okay, there's all sorts of disasters that follow. Among other things, these companies develop enormous political power. They have in addition to the power that they have over prices and stuff like that. And it's bad news basically across the board. It makes this is one of the things that is driving inequality in an enormous way. And I'm so happy that the Democrats have figured that out. Now, they have a lot more figuring to do, but it's a start, Jimmy. It's a start. And I have to say, there was no indication that they were going to do something like that. I mean, Hillary Clinton never talked about stuff like this. So
again, that's why I don't believe it. But I'm glad you're excited. It makes me feel a little bit better.
Okay, so now I've gone too far. All right. Let's get back to cynicism.
So that would be
strong drink of cynicism here.
So was that to me? That was again. We have covered the better deal, but to me that was literally the only glimmer of light in that. What else did you see that you liked in the better deal?
So that was it. That was it. That and then the fact that they weren't blaming
Russia.
And but that one is my own is sort of my own personal beef, because I want to write about politics, in the way that where you take things into account like social class and people's interests and the sort of fake populism of Trump. And the vast majority of liberals in this country are determined to not see that and not talk about that and to blame everything on this external boogeyman. And by the way, don't get me wrong, Trump's ties with Russia are frightening and alarming, and I think need to be investigated. But blaming the last election on Russian interference, I think, is knowing what we know now, is a red herring.
Yeah. So I agree with you and Chuck Schumer on that.
Yeah, there you go then.
So
you can have him on the show next.
Hey everybody, the next live Jimmy Dore show is August 16th. That's a Wednesday, new time, 9 p.m. 9 p.m. show, August 16th in Burbank, California. Get your tickets right there or at jimmydorecomedy.com.